Oh, goodness.
The 6 gets, it's like, oh my gosh.
Goodness gracious.
Wow. Like Morris said, got into the 6 car. David Reagan.
Oh.
My goodness.
That's a hard lick for David Reagan, but this, oh my goodness. Ron Fellow is also into the wall in that. Wow,
Straight away.
So take a look at the sprint mission right now and some of the replays. And it looks like
Really just kind of a stack-up effect. Like was one of them got on the brakes and kind of forced. Yeah, look at Tony Stewart just missing this crash. Man, here's where it really gets exciting. Man.
We talked about that there's nowhere to go as you come off of these corners, and when something like this happens, you make a commitment, and you've got one opportunity really to miss this wreck. Tony Stewart did a great job. Some others got caught up in. Let's drive along with Tony Stewart here. See it develop right in front of him. He actually got into the back of the 20 as he checked up.
Come on.
And you know it's going to be bad right here when he comes up in front of traffic. Reed Sorensen makes the impact. Scott Speed got a piece of it also.
The car's actually going backwards when it starts to lift up and go over and begin to tumble.
Yeah, it's just being pushed, and as he kind of dug in a little bit, and it was continued to get pushed there, that's what got it up and rolling.
And you hear you talk about how high the banks are here, and you see he's just tumbling down that bank. There's so much height difference right there from the top of the bank down to the apron.
3 stories, the difference between the top and the bottom, 24-degree banks. Just side over side over side, a violent impact. And the good news that this new car that NASCAR brought on.
Here we go.
Okay, he's looking inside of Mike Lynette, and this wreck happens in front of them.
There is the 16. He's already turned around. That all happened in front.
Now, where's Joe Nemechek?
Oh, right there.
Gosh.
Who got it? And it was the 16 with a Stenhouse.
Gracious.
He ends up going over. Take another look.
Okay, does that qualify or everything's going to get crazy?
Well, I think that's crazy. That's crazy.
I don't know if a Stenhouse got any help there, but he just sort of shone.
Oh, we got trouble coming off of 2 already.
Matt Kenseth is around a hard hit. Kenseth took a hard hit.
Oh, we got somebody on their head.
Donnie Nuremberg in 52 goes tumbling down the backstretch and then in the inside wall.
Sauter involved in it, and the thing about this racetrack is just
are destroyed.
It's like a pinball. When they start wrecking, there's just nowhere to go.
And you can see Donnie moving around inside of that car. It's Randy LaJoie in the 34 pulling away. Sauter in the 1, Kenseth in the 17. Looks like Jeff Burton in the 21 car.
Watch the 11. He drives down underneath the 17, the Matt Kenseth. He just touches him coming off the corner. Kenseth does everything he can to save it. And then here comes the rest of the field, and forget it. Johnny Sauter got hit hard.
We talked about it earlier in the day. There is nowhere to hide when trouble breaks out here. If you're behind it, you're probably going to be in it.
Johnny Sauter goes to the bottom of the racetrack, and that turned out to be exactly the wrong place to be. Look at Neuenberger just flipping over the back of, let's see what car that is.
Boy, John Wood
Tim
did a
Sauter.
good job getting through there. I don't think John got much damage, but here all these cars, they see what's happening. The 21 gets turned.
Michael Waltrip into the wall.
Yep. That backstretch, when they start wrecking back there, man, it's tough because the car can bounce in front of you just like it did Johnny Sauter. You see Sauter down there on the low side. I mean, it's just got nowhere to go. You can't get away from a wreck on the backstretch.
And we heard Sauter say on his radio, we are destroyed, and he's right, they are hurt badly.
Now on board with Carl Edwards.
Watch south, Good job, good job.
Oh, man, that was a great job.
Let's get a look at it here. Oh, my.
Man,
He rolled it.
he got upside down. He got clear into the inside of the truck. He hit those big tires that were protecting that inside guardrail because of the angle, and he got completely upside down. A little bit, might have been some contact there as Andy Houston might have touched him just a little bit, but he's going backwards, and he gets into those tires, and boy, that's a sudden stop. And look at those tires. I don't know how much they weigh, but you can't hardly move them with a tractor.
Let's look on board with Jimmy Engelbright.
You can see right there, he gets turned around. Well, we didn't see the contact, but the reason no tires are there is because that.
And there's Rusty Wallace. You see Park trying to squeeze up the outside.
I see he was trying to go on the outside of Rusty. Rusty moves up, they make contact, and Junior gets under the one car and just kind of bulldozed him into the wall and over.
Yeah, that's what actually turned him even more sideways. But I'll tell you what, that guardrail did the job.
Oh, it did. It's great
Took
job.
a lot of that absorbed a lot of impact right there.
Watch the yellow car back there just turn left.
And when you hit wet grass, it feels like you pick up 200 mile an hour.
But you can see how that barrier gave way when
Absolutely.
that car got
That barrier absorbed a lot of energy, and I'll tell you what, that nice to see happen, because if that were a concrete wall, he would have taken a much harder hit.
One more shot. Rusty's right in the middle of the racetrack. Steve Park's going down the outside, but Rusty decides to come up to the outside line, not realizing that Steve was there. They made contact, and the ride is on.
Look at that barrier give. Thank goodness.
But again, that's one reason that Steve was able to walk away arm in arm with Dale Earnhardt Jr. because of that wall that did give.
Absolutely. I agree with that 100%.
And you know, the spotters on the roof here at Pocono are a long way away from where Rusty Wallace and Steve Park.
There's the replay of the accident that brought out the final caution in the wild ride endured by Timothy Peters.
It looked like the 22 of Austin Westhoff just got a little bit loose on exit of turn number 4. Got into Johnny Sauter. Watch him get loose on the bottom. Gets into Johnny a little bit. Turns him sideways. Ben Rhodes able to get by. Timothy commits to the bottom. Austin Wayne comes down there. A wild ride for Timothy. Well, Timothy just really didn't even have any choice but to go to the bottom, did he?
No, that normally Austin would have probably come back up the racetrack after that, and he didn't.
How about the view from Matt Crafton? And this is Timothy Peters. Watch this ride.